Hey, welcome back. Professor Fields here. We're going to talk about driving under the influence laws in California. So the section is 23-152 of the Vehicle Code. And a little bit of history. There's several subsections behind it. Cops called DUI drivers deuces in California. It has to do with that section 23-152. It's ended in 2. It has ended in 2 for a long time. Before that, it was 23-102. That's when I first came on the job. They changed it from 23-102 to 23-152. And before that, long time ago, it was 502, the Vehicle Code. So cops call them deuces. We're out hooking deuces, booking deuces. That's our job. Now, section 23-152A is a primary section used. 23-152A and B. We'll talk about B in a second here. A says it's illegal for drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs or a combination of such. And it says that you're presumed to be under the influence at a .08 or above. So pay attention to that, driving under the influence. Now, section 23-152B says it's illegal to drive with a .08 or above. So what's the difference? Well, let's go back and look. A says, you look right there, it says it's driving under the influence of alcohol. Whereas B says nothing at all. All it says about the driving under influence, all it says is this person has to have a .08 or above. 23-152C says it's illegal for a drug addict to drive under the influence of alcohol. How do you prove that? That they're addicted? Well, by signs and symptoms. You know, if they're a heroin addict, they may have needle marks, tracks on their arms. If they're methamphetamine, you know, depending on their teeth, and stuff like that. You can use all kinds of different evidence to show they're under the influence. Excuse me, they're a addicted person. They can also be declared by the court to be an addict. And that's when you charge the C. Now D, 23-152D, is for big rig drivers. So if you're driving a commercial vehicle that requires a Class A or B license and you're .04 or above, then you can be arrested for DUI. You're considered to be under the influence. 23-153 of the Vehicle Code, that's the felony section for DUI. Basically it says if you do any act forbidden by law or any duty imposed by you, such as not crashing your car, and cause bodily injury to somebody else other than yourself, you can be arrested for felony DUI. And a felony DUI is an enhanced penalty. You can actually go to prison for felony DUI. Whereas misdemeanor DUI, you wouldn't go to a state prison. You'd only go to county jail. And it's not necessary they prove that you've committed an actual vehicle code violation. So you don't have to prove the person was speeding, just that they did an act that they weren't supposed to do while they're driving. Like I said, the mere fact you crash your car, you have a duty not to crash your car. 23-154 says it's illegal for anybody that's on probation for DUI to have alcohol in their system and be driving. So if you're on probation for DUI, you can't have any drink. Zero tolerance. .1 or above, you can be arrested. For juveniles, 23-136A, again in California and I think all states now, it's illegal to drive when you're illegal to drink when you're under the age of 21. So it's illegal to drink and drive at a .01 and above. You can get arrested for DUI. Now let's talk about traffic collisions. Vehicle Code Section 40300.5A says a person that's involved in a traffic accident can be arrested for DUI. So how do you prove that? Just like you prove any other investigation, through the physical evidence and through the statements. Hopefully you've got a witness that can put the driver behind the wheel. Hopefully the driver admits to being the driver of the car. But you can also look at other physical evidence. If you look at the airbag, you see some blood on there. Does the blood match the driver's blood? Do the injuries of the car match the driver's injuries? Where are the keys? Who's the registered owner? You know, what other kind of witnesses can you find to put this person behind the wheel? And that's what you use to prove that they were the driver and they were involved in a traffic collision, and you can arrest them for that if they're drunk. Excuse me, if they're under the influence. We also have 40300.5 that says if you're in or about a vehicle, we can arrest you for DUI. And basically the thought process behind that is if you're in or about a vehicle and you're under the influence of alcohol and we let you drive away, you're going to hurt somebody. So those are the things we have to prove, that if we don't immediately arrest you, you're going to get away with the crime, and if we let you go, you're going to drive away and you're going to hurt somebody. In this picture here, this was a DUI driver that had passed out on the freeway, and a news reporter actually stopped. There's some film of this. If you Google it, you can see the film. And basically what happened is she passed out on the freeway. A news reporter got there. They filmed her trying to wake her up, knocking on a window. Didn't work. People are speeding around. Luckily, nobody hit her. Officer gets there, he breaks the window open because she won't respond to knocking on the window. Her foot slips off the brake, excuse me, and he has to actually jump into the car to put the thing in park before he can save this person from herself. And she was under the influence of alcohol. So you need to prove that the car was drivable. In this case, that's pretty easy. Her left foot came off the brake and rolled away. But every once in a while we'll get there and the car will be cold. So in that case, you need to maybe start the car to make sure it works. Use some other kind of evidence you can to put this person behind the wheel and then make the DUI arrest. So that's it on California DUI laws as it leads to an arrest. We're going to talk about the admin per se laws, which are the administrative procedures for suspending a driver's license, and we're also going to talk about implied consent, which are the requirements to take a blood test or a breath test if you're arrested. We'll do that later on in this module. All right, see you then. Thanks.